Hey guys, welcome back to episode number 2 of Splendid Chat. Welcome if you are new. My name is Zainab. Hope you guys are doing well today. And if you already know me, hey girl, it's your girl Zainab. Sorry, that was a little cringe. But anyways, welcome to Splendid Chat. I'm just kind of gonna go right into it. Or actually, no, I have some things to say really quickly. Um, Three things actually. I just woke up, so my voice is a little raspy. I'm really sorry. That's a little ratch. Also, my microphone is also very ratchet because you know, I want to invest in a new microphone, but I have to make sure that this is something that I want to do for sure. Um, and it has to make sense for me to buy a new microphone. So inshallah, hopefully we can get some better quality. And then also there's a guy working on the back of my house, so he's gonna probably be drilling and stuff. So if you hear that, I'm really sorry. I'll try my best to kind of like, you know, I don't know. But so welcome back, like I said, for the 1500th time. Today as you guys can tell by the title, I'm going to be talking about interracial slash intercultural marriage in the Muslim community. So, I wanted to talk about this for a long time. However, I didn't because when I was actually initially going to do it, it was going to be like a video type thing. But in the video, I felt like I wasn't articulate enough. I didn't say the things that I didn't say what I really wanted to say, or if I did say what I wanted to say, it didn't come across how I wanted to say it, if that makes sense. Um, so I just scrapped that and I was like, okay, I'll save this for another time when I actually can, collect real words. And so alhamdulillah, I was like, okay, let me just, squeeze this into my podcast. Maybe it'll make more sense. So here I am. And then also 2 days ago, I was listening to another podcast by a sister named Kars Breanne. Now I hope I'm saying her name right. Um, and she was addressing an issue similar to what I'm talking about today. And she was talking about, interracial marriage in regards to reverts and, how their race kind of plays a role into looking for a husband, how it can either really help or hurt you. And, you know, she was talking about her experiences as a white revert and how there is sort of like this fetishization that some Muslim people have with whiteness and wanting a white spouse, wanting a white wife specifically. And I'm not going to go too much into that because it's not really my place because I'm not a revert. Um, but definitely the issue of race and talking about race is right up my alley. Being a black, Muslim, and I really loved her podcast. I'm gonna link it down below. Hopefully, it's still up because the last time I checked, she took it down, but then she put it back up. So hopefully, it's still up. But I loved it. I think she addressed the issues so beautifully. And again, even though I am not a revert, I can understand how looking for a spouse as a person of color, specifically as a black Muslim, can, have its challenges, especially if someone is looking for someone outside of their culture, outside of their race, etc. Now, I want to just make this clear. This isn't me saying that, if you want to marry someone, or sorry, this isn't me saying that, if you want to marry someone who is inside your race, inside your culture, understands your mother tongue, and like, if you want that as, like, if that's something you want, that is totally okay. I'm not saying that that's wrong, and I'm not trying to make you out to be a racist because that's stupid. You're totally entitled to your own preferences. I have my own preferences, but I'm not going to air them here. However, I will say that, I am not limiting myself to just my own ethnicity, just my own race, etc. Because at the end of the day, Dean is just the most important. We can be the same thing, but if I don't find you to be a practicing person, or at least striving, then it's not going to work out. And other things as well. That's not the only qualification, not the only condition, but it just is what it is. So I'm going to be talking about that and kind of giving some advice when it comes to looking for a spouse, especially if you are of a particular race, of a particular ethnicity, etc., and you are trying to, maybe it's your mission to find someone outside of your race, outside of your culture, etc., or you're like me and you don't really care, so long as they you have a connection with them spiritually, emotionally, and whateverly. So and I can't talk about this without talking about race and talking about racism. Okay, racism, y'all, it exists. It's alive and thriving in the Muslim community. Unfortunately, I'm gonna say unfortunately a lot in this video, but it's a thing. It exists. Although Islam totally denounces, totally prohibits any form of racism, sexism, um, any type of ism, we as the Muslim community, we in the Muslim community, we still perpetuate it. I'm not saying everybody does, obviously not everybody, but a lot of the Muslims do perpetuate this, and even go as far as to, maybe if their family member or their child is, wanting to marry someone who's outside of their race, culture, etc., they will go to the ends of the earth just to sabotage that union, which is so wrong. It is so wrong on so many levels. And, to a certain degree, to a certain small, tiny, minuscule degree, I kind of understand why a family would want their child or their family or their relative to marry someone within their own culture, etc. Maybe because it would just be easier for everyone to get along in some way. But I mean, that's just kind of that. I think that's all about mindset. But I think it's totally wrong for someone to actually go out of their way to stop such union because of something as silly as, oh, they're not the same race as us, they're not the same culture as us, they're too dark, they're too this, they don't speak our language, this, that, and the third. I think that's really wrong. And this happens so often in the Muslim community, it's damn near embarrassing. You know what I'm saying? It's like sometimes, like some of the things that we do, y'all, in the Muslim community, it's even hard to defend us. You know what I'm saying? Like, we allow so much, and you just gotta have to, it's almost like you have to sit back and say, well, yeah, it kind of goes on. You have, I mean, definitely defend the religion, but sometimes it's hard to defend some of the actions, some of the things that go on in the Muslim community, because it's the truth, it's what happens. Yeah. So my advice, though, to some of us who are looking to get married, and race, culture, etc., is just not something that you are super keen. Like, it's not a make or break for you. Um, my suggestion, my advice is to be careful, obviously, and know the family. Know the family. Obviously, I'm assuming that your family is pretty chill with whoever you marry. Is this person's family going to be okay with me? Because the last thing you want is down the line you marry this person and you have problems because they don't like you. They don't like your skin. They don't like your mother tongue. They don't like that. You're this. They're that. You're the third. Now, granted, if someone doesn't like you, if a family doesn't like you because you have bad habits, okay, and you're not a great person, and this, that, and the third, then okay, they have every right, all right, to judge you. To be honest, they do. But for something that you cannot control, you don't want that. That's not something you want, because that can lead to problems in your marriage. If two families don't like each other, that can lead to some big issues. What if you have kids and, well, I mean, how are they going to treat your kids? You know what I'm saying? Now, this isn't me saying also that, families that were hesitant at first won't um, come to terms and try to, put aside their differences for the sake of the marriage. I'm not saying that things like that don't happen, but I'm kind of also, being a little bit realistic here, as that, there are so many cases of um, people getting married who are two different cultures and ethnicities, etc. And things happen because, in their marriage, because, the family just does not like such and such person, which is sad and it's unfortunate. But I'm just kind of like, planting that seed in your head, and just so you can be cautious when it comes to finding a spouse. I refuse to entertain, engage with someone whose family does not like me. And as harsh as that sounds, I can't. I cannot do that. I will not pursue that any longer. I cannot help that I am of a certain skin tone, that I come from a certain background, that my mother tongue is a certain language. You know what I'm saying? I did not choose that. So for someone to hate me and reject me and not welcome me because of something I cannot control, I'm not gonna I'm not. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna work. I don't have that patience now, and I will not have that patience if and when we got married. So I would have that mindset. Don't put up with such things. It's not fair. It's not fair. Too much of this goes on, and it's just so sad. You should not put yourself in such a situation, and you deserve much better. There are so many. I know getting married and looking for a husband or looking for a wife is kind of it's a little challenging, especially nowadays. It is challenging. I think some of our family who come from, maybe they come from Nigeria, maybe they come from Somalia, or maybe they come from, Egypt or India or Pakistan. They don't kind of, I think it might have been easier for them to get married because, everybody that's around them is the same. You know what I'm saying? They're within the same culture and stuff, etc. Like I tell my mom, like, because she wants me to get married, and inshallah, like, I want to get married as well. But like she kind of thinks it's as easy as just like a husband is just gonna fall in my arms. Like it's not like that. Mashallah, tabarakallah. Like my parents, it was a bit easy for them to get married because everybody around them is the same, and you know what I'm saying. But here, living in America, specifically living in the West, it does have its challenges, but just stay strong. Inshallah, someone will come along. But what I'm trying to say here is, don't put up with something that you shouldn't put up with, especially when it comes to someone rejecting you, someone causing you so much issues because of something that you cannot control. So, just keep that in mind. This isn't me trying to rain on anyone's parade, but keep that in mind and trek on. So, thank you guys for listening. I hope that helps you guys in any way. And yeah, I hope you had a splendid chat with me. I had a splendid chat with you. So, I will see you guys in my next one.